Okie dokie, today I want to talk about a very simple topic, which is, the planche de front lever. Are they core exercises? I mean, everywhere online you will have people telling you oh, the planche and the front lever, you need a strong core to do that, You need to be able to do 20 leg raises and you need to be able to do a weighted L-sit before you can even get started to learn the front lever or the planche. And I just want to, put the record straight and say that's bullshit. I mean, of course, you're going to have some core activated in your planche and your front lever. In the planche, you're going to have your lower back, in your obliques squeezed. In the front lever, you have to hold your legs up so your abs are flexed. But as long as you're able to hold your legs up and you're able to hold your legs back, upwards in the backwards position for the planche, you have enough core strength. It's really not, the core is not the challenge of the planche and the front lever. I would say you don't need any ab training to even get started on it, because as soon as you get started on the tuck planche or the lean planche or the tuck front lever, right, your core is going to be activated, and since it doesn't require the most demand, it will just get stronger naturally and get strong enough naturally. That's the most important part. So, but what do you need for planche and front lever? It's gonna be the back, the back and the shoulders. For the front lever, you need the back. Today is a pull day, by the way. You're gonna need the back muscles, the latissimus dorsus, or whatever they call it in scientific terms. You're gonna need your rear delt, you're gonna need your triceps, right? You're gonna need your entire posterior chain and a little bit of abs. And for the planche, you're gonna need your biceps and your shoulder and a little bit of abs, a little bit of lower back. But it's really not a challenge. So when people, look at all these crazy stunts and say strong core, it's kind of become it's a bit of a meme in the calisthenics community, right? I mean, if you're watching this video, you probably already know it, but that's not the point. It's like when people don't know about calisthenics, about all of these skills, they're like, oh shit, yeah, that's the core, because when you see gymnasts training, they do train the core a lot, right? They do leg raises and whatever the fuck, right? And of course, the strong core will help you stabilize, but the main part is going to be shoulders, biceps, tendon conditioning, and all that stuff. So today, I don't call it an abs day. I don't call it a core day, even though I'm training the front lever. It's going to be a fucking back day, because every time, without fail, when I'm done training the front lever, I have the sickest back pump of my life. I mean, I cannot imagine the fucking muscles in my back being more inflated than when I'm done doing a long, tedious front lever hold set or something like that, or like a press, That shit just destroys your back into oblivion. So what I'm actually doing today is some pull-ups, but first I'm doing some front lever holds. I'm just greasing the groove on these, which is to say I train them multiple times a day, sub-maximum, so that I can get adapted to the movement pattern. And then after this is done, I've done 2 holds already. I'm going to do a 3rd one now. And then afterwards, I'll get into the main training, which is going to be pull-ups. So let's go. Oh, I guess I have to fucking, let's see. Yeah, there you go, buddy. Alright, let's get on with front lever pull-ups. Okay, so I'm gonna do my classic 5 sets of pull-ups. However, I'm gonna add a little bit of scapula pull-ups as well. So a normal front lever pull-up, you're doing this, you're bending your arms. What you do in the scapula pull-up is you keep your arms straight and you pull, your shoulders backwards only. So your arms stay straight and you're just only using your back muscles, right? Like this. And this will help me, during the retraction of the front lever, because when you're doing the front lever, if your shoulders are like this, you're unable to engage your lats. So you have to pull your shoulders back, not all the way, because then, again, you cannot engage your back, but just until the middle. And by doing these scapula pull-ups, I can train the same muscles in a dynamic way. So I'm gonna superset the normal front lever pull-ups with some scapula pull-ups as well. I'm gonna do this for 5 sets. I don't know how many reps, maybe like 6 normal pull-ups and then a couple scapula pull-ups, maybe superset some of the sets as well with some presses, but we'll see. So first of all, 5 sets, and then we'll move on to a different exercise. Okay, I added weight to my feet for a bit of a dirtier set here. So let's see how it goes. Right, next set, I'm gonna make a superset of pull-ups and presses with the ankle weights added. Okay, let's see if a potential 6 pull-ups and 6 presses is on the cards at this point in the workout. That would not even be, a bad result. So let's see what happens. Oh yeah. If you want a quick tutorial on how to destroy your back, this is step 1 to 100 all at once. Whew. One more set without the ankle weights. Let's move on to the next exercise. Okay, so after a quick evaluation of the situation, I decided not to do any more sets because my back is feeling as destroyed as it should be. So any more than this will be annihilation instead of simulation. A quick tricep pose. I mean, you heard it right, my back is destroyed. Not my abs, not my lower back, not whatever, my back, my lat muscles and my rear delts. Now, does that mean that my abs did not get worked at all? Not in the slightest, I have to hold my legs up like this. You can see abs are activated, so they're being activated, right? They're being used, they're being trained, but not to the point that they are going to be the limit. So when you first get started on the front lever, and you're doing a tuck front lever, and then you're moving on to maybe one-legged front lever, and so on, and you're trying a bit of presses, like especially on the presses, you will feel your abs a little bit if they are weak, but even if you feel them, they're gonna catch up, trust me, because the limiting factor is your back. your core, you know, it will just catch up once you start training, specifically the front lever movement. And don't get me wrong, in the past I have done accessory work for abs in like for the front lever when I thought like, oh shit, I'm feeling my core. I have done, you know, specific like leg raises and this and that. But to be honest, I think it was kind of a mistake. Like I've done it during this bulk, but it's kind of a waste of your energy because it's not specific to the front lever. And yes, you know, your legs are, or your abs are gonna become stronger, but it doesn't really matter because, you know, as long as you keep training the front lever, since your lats and your rear delts are really doing most of the work, you're kind of greasing the groove in your abs in a way, because, you know, you're doing light workouts for your abs at all times. And in the beginning, yes, you might be sore, but like I mentioned time and time again, they're gonna catch up. So I wouldn't worry about it, you know. Even if you feel your abs during the front lever, most likely the strength you're lacking is in your lats. So if you're holding like a banana front lever or you can't hold it properly, it's not your abs, it's the front lever. Because as long as you can lay flat on the ground and lift your legs up like 10 centimeters, basically you're good to go. If you can do that for like 10 seconds, you're good to go. You don't need anything else. And yeah, all the other work is basically your back, your lats, your rear delts, your mid, your traps, your mid back muscles and your traps. Like, you will feel those way more than than the core, I should say. But, you know, if you're doing calisthenics for a while already, I don't have to explain that to you. You know, people who don't know calisthenics, like, or maybe only do pull-ups and dips, will think that, you know, the gymnastics stuff or the skill stuff is core. But if you're practicing it yourself, you know better, right? And it's kind of funny because, you know, the internet is full of people, you know, saying that this is core related, and you know, you see it everywhere. But when I make a fucking joke on in the shorts on YouTube about the no hands push-up and how, you know, the hamstring exercise is not a push-up, well, then people get mad at me, right? I say it's a no hands push-up, but it's a leg exercise, and oh, you're not pushing anything. So yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of funny, but I just wanted to make a video separate about that. That, like, you know, if you want to train the front lever in the planche, train the front lever in the planche. You don't need the prerequisites. You don't need the strongest gymnast core ever. You don't need any weighted dips or pull-ups for that matter, right? You just need to get started on the skills, and that's what's gonna get it for you. So that's it for today's training. Very happy. The reason I did not do any more sets, like I said, is just because those 5 sets of pull-ups felt so freaking heavy. Yes, or fucking, I don't care. But, you know, I did 3 sets of holds in the beginning with 1 kilo of my foot, and then I did 5 sets of pull-ups, and that combined with the greasing the groove, you know, it's giving me a good stimulus. Tonight I will do 3 sets of 15 seconds again on the front lever, and basically that's gonna be it for today's training. And yeah, after that I'll just continue greasing the groove, get ready for the next training, on which, you know, today I did not do any holds during the main training, so I might just, you know, try to do lots of sets towards 45 seconds, you know, like drop sets where I do the full front lever and then drop down to like one-legged stuff or even tuck stuff, right? But basically like 45 seconds time under tension seems like a good idea for next time. So that's actually, yeah, now that I say it, quite exciting. So I hope I will see you in the next back day or even in the next leg day tomorrow, who knows. But yeah, that's it for today's training. I'm gonna have a shower, have some breakfast, and see you tomorrow.